Alongside Perfect Games Vice President of Player Personnel David Rawnsley, my name is Daron Sutton, and shh, listen to the quiet around here, David, the calm before the storm. Over the next 4 or 5 days, hundreds of the best baseball players in the United States, most heading into their senior year, but many talented underclassmen gathered here for the 2014 World Wood Bat Association Championship here in Jupiter. This is such a prestigious event, and obviously the history, you've been around so many of them. Let's start with that, because you have more than 400 players that have gone to the major leagues. I mean, look at the players that have been drafted, more than 3,000 drafted, 9,000 college commits have come through this tournament since 1998.
And the talent stands for itself, Daron, but what it really is it's an event. It's an event for the scouting community, it's an event for the teams, it's an event for the college coaches. They all come together at one complex, 13 fields for 5 days of what I think a scouting director once told me was the perfect game traveling road show and circus.
It's a huge thing.
Yeah, we have the famous golf carts, we have the vendors all lined up. We're quiet now, as you said, but it's going to get awful loud over the next 5 days.
And this is a chance for scouts to see talented players, sometimes players to expose themselves more than they've ever been. We'll get to that in a moment. But this is a team event. That's what I think is fun for the families, to take the time to save the money to get their kids here. They're trying to win rings. They're trying to win trophies.
No question about it. And some teams come here with the idea, we have a chance to win this. You have to have a deep pitching staff. You're not going to come here with 8 or 10 pitchers and have a chance to win 8 games in 5 days, which you have to do. You know, teams come to win. There's also teams that come here to expose their players, get them college scholarships, get them in front of the scouts, because they're all here. And, you know, you have the teams in between, the sleepers, and there's always a sleeper. Last year was the Red Scout team, Cangelosi baseball before, that makes that run out of pool play, gets deep in the playoffs, and surprises everybody, and that's a great thing about baseball.
You have a prime 5, okay, the top teams, if you were to look ahead and predict. If you miss any, I'll remind you who they are, but you know who they are. Run down those, maybe give me one bullet point as to why they're special.
Okay. Evo Shield Canes are special because they're the defending champions. They've been here before. It's an experienced team, and I think they have the best pitching staff here. You know, Bo Burrows and Ash Russell set to go early, Logan Allen, experienced high-level pitchers. The Orlando Scorpions might have the best everyday lineup there. I was going through their lineup. Hey, I'd put the lineup together like this. Their number 10 hitter was ranked like 180th in the country on the lineup I put together. Cardinal Scout Team, FTB Mizuno, probably the deepest team in the field with both players and position players, and they've got 6 perfect game All-Americans on it. From the West Coast, we have GBG Marucci, the Garcia Baseball Group. They've been tearing it up out in the West Coast in the perfect game events, and you got to tip the cap to them coming over from California with a chance to win this. And lastly, Elite Squad Prime from down in Miami. Great team, has been performing at a high level really for the last 3 or 4 years, and this might be Richie Palmer's best team and his best chance to win in Jupiter.
And not to overlook any of the other teams David mentioned, I think it's great, folks, that you see now teams in the growth of perfect game all the way out west consistently to California, where teams that dominate out west know that it's important for their players to come here. And that's what's going on with the Garcia Baseball Group team. The top players will be here too. We know the top teams will be here. It goes very, very deep, but the top players, like #1 player in the land, shortstop Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, there are 32 perfect game All-Americans here, Daron, and I think that's what everybody knows. The top players are going to be here. They're going to get to see Brandon Rodgers hit. They're going to get to see Chris Betts hit, Jahmai Jones, Kep Brown, all those names that we all know. But I think a special part about Jupiter is you get a lot of players in that next level, including a lot of players who have just started improving, getting into that potential high draft round position, and these national level scouts don't have their resumes all filled up with them yet. This is their chance to see them against the very best competition, because next spring when they go out and see them, they're going to see them in high school ball, and that's not the same as playing in Jupiter, obviously.
You have 1 or 2 for me? Somebody that might slide in there?
I could just keep going down the list for a while. We've got 2 pairs of outfielders on 2 separate teams. On the Blue Jay Scout team, we have Demi Omaroli, who's a Canadian, and Tyler Williams, who's from Arizona. Very athletic outfielders who really in the last 4 or 6 months have learned how to hit. So that plus strength, plus speed, now they're hitting. From Syracuse Sports Zone Chiefs, you have 2 young men from the north, and it's real important. These players from the north, they won't get to be seen by scouts until April or May. 1 from New York in Garrett Whitley, 1 from Maine in Ryan McKenna. So this is a big stage for them. We've got a name that you're familiar with probably, Tyler Nevin, plays for CBA Marucci out of California, Phil Nevin's son. He was injured pretty much the last 2 years, missed 2 summers with an elbow injury. He's back at full strength, and he's been playing great out in California and Arizona at our events out there. And we could just go on and on down the list, and that's what is fun for me as a scout, and I think a lot of the 800 or so scouts who are going to be here. There's so much talent, and you pick and choose what you want to see and then go see it. It's here.
David and the Scout of Perfect Game staffs will have their writing up all the time. They will continually blog and scout these games. David will have small capsules, video capsules on the top prospects as well. It's a great chance for Louisville Slugger and for Rawlings and for Evo Shield and for really great new partner Nike to expose themselves to this tournament as well, to the families that are coming down here and the players as well. He's David Rawnsley. I'm Daron Sutton. All the information you need on these talented teams, these talented players right here, and we'll continue to be here all the time from Jupiter.